Okay, guys, welcome to Pilates Fusion. In this class, we stay with Pilates principles as far as alignment, breath work, and movement, but I add in elements of other modalities and make it fun and interesting. As we go along, please just listen to your body. If there's something you need to change or you've got an injury or something going on, of course, honor that. And so we'll start just in a comfortable seat. So find yourself in a spot where you can sit comfortably either on your mat. You can have your legs crossed, you can kneel, you can sit in a chair, whatever you'd like. We'll start with a simple breath practice to begin. So take a nice deep breath in, a slow breath out. And just take a moment to arrive into your body using your breath as this doorway to arrive into the practice. One more time like that, a nice full inhale. Nice cleansing exhale. The breath pattern we'll do sort of like a square breathing, it's called sometimes. So we'll inhale for 4 counts. We'll hold the breath for 4 counts. We'll exhale for 4, and we'll hold the breath out for 4, right? So it's a really even timing with the breath. So take a moment to, again, adjust your seat if you need, feel comfortable in your spine and hips. And we'll inhale here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. 3, 2, 1. A little longer. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little longer again. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold here. Exhale. Hold here. Inhale. Hold here. Exhale. Hold here. Continue in your own pace. Do about 3 rounds. Counting in your head or not counting, just going at your own pace. Finding that space between the inhale and the exhale. If you're still going in your last round or two, continue that. If you're finished, just come to a normal breath. Just noticing your body and your energy after that practice. I invite you to bring some gentle movement into your body, so you might just sway easily from side to side. And hopefully just feeling a bit more tuned in, a bit more aware of your inner space with that breath practice. And we'll start to translate this into bigger movements. You might sway a little bigger, and you can make this whatever you want it to be. If you want to make it really big and juicy and circular and add your head, you can do that, right? Just allowing your spine to rehydrate, to move. You can do circles with your rib cage. I'm making mine quite big just to show, but you might make these really small and subtle. That can be sometimes a better place to go depending on how your body's feeling today, what it's needing. Allow your neck to be an extension of your spine, right? Sometimes we kind of forget that the neck is part of our spine, so allowing the head to move along and respond to the movement too. Just take a couple more rounds of just gentle, easy, free movement with your spine. You might do something a bit with the arms. Just stretching, opening, creating some space. And then we'll bring the arms out to the sides and have the fingertips spread apart and just kind of wiggle the fingers and feel the space. And open your chest really wide. You're arching your spine. You can lift your eyes a little bit. And then curl your lower spine, your tailbone. Your arms just come forward a little bit. You don't want to get too scrunchy in the shoulders. And do that again. Inhale, open. It's like a seated cat-cow. Inhale and exhale to curl. Right, and do these quickly, slowly, whatever's feeling good. Again, remember to really follow the cues of your own body and what feels helpful in the moment. We'll do a couple more rounds there. Big breath, cleansing through the spine. All right, and then we'll relax there. We'll come on to hands and knees to switch gears a little bit. So come on to your hands and your knees, where your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. I know I've got this dark background and I don't have that many light leggings, so I put on white socks so you can see me a little bit better. So with your palms grounded, although you don't need to look at me either, you can just listen and do your own thing. So you're all 10 fingers ground into the mat. Exhale to curl into your cat pose, right? So now into your full cat-cow. And then inhale, widen the sits bones, open the chest. I exhale to curl, deflate the lungs, and inhale, fill the lungs. And again, your timing might be different than me, so feel free to flow with your own pace. Really feel like your hands ground way down into the earth. And one more time here. Okay, and then we'll tuck the toes under, right? So you're flexing your toes back. You'll push into your hands and lift your tailbone up to the sky. You'll be in a mini down dog here. So I'd like you to have your head really drop down, the crown of your head drop towards the floor, knees be soft, and press your fingers into the mat to feel more space in your shoulders. Allow the spine to stretch and open here from head to tail. Take a deep breath into your shoulders and heart space. And as you exhale, shift the knees over the mat, hovering, not actually touching, just hovering strong through the fingers and arms, and lift the tailbone right back up to that down dog. Take one moment there, and then rebound right back down again. So you're shifting between these two shapes, taking your time, and I want you to use your breath as the leader. So one breath, takes you into the hover, and one breath takes you into the down dog, right? So you follow the breath pattern that feels good on your body. All right, so warming up through the arms and shoulders, feeling the index finger and the thumb press into the mat just as much as the other fingers. We'll do one more hover here. Pause in your hover. Feel your low belly lift up into your spine, your sits bones nice and wide, pressing away from the floor, and do little bounces with the knees for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come right back up to your down dog, and then let yourself pedal through your feet a little bit here. So just bending one knee at a time, relax the neck, feel the back of the legs open, receiving a nice stretch there through the calves. And then pause in your downward dog. Again, let your heels rest towards the mat, but they don't need to be touching. In fact, I prefer you have a little bit of a bend in your knees just so that you can lift your tail up to the sky and maintain that space through your spine. Pilates principles is all about this health of our spine, the vitality, the movement, the strength. Really allowing for space, remembering that our spine, the spinal cord houses the cerebral spinal fluid, and this is really sacred fluid in our body that influences all the systems, immune system, digestive, nervous system, everything. Take one more cycle of breath here. And then return to knees on the mat. And take your knees wide if you like. Take a brief child's pose here, sitting back at your heels. And you're gonna walk your hands out and then bring them over to the right side of your mat. So your left arm is sort of reaching across. And relax your head and just allow yourself to ground into your left hip as you bring breath into your left rib cage, left lungs. Exhale, walk the hands over to the other side, finding that left diagonal, reach the right arm and ground the right hip to create space. Breathing into that right side. Relaxing the neck, one more breath. And coming back to center. And keep the hands out in front of you and come up to hands and knees again. You can bring the knees closer in once again if you had taken them out. And walk your hands really far away from you with the hands nice and wide, right? So you would drop your chest a little bit. So again, you've got kind of a version of down dog again, where your tail's up and you're finding space through your spine. And I want you to feel the fingers really ground down. And start to shift your weight forward now towards your fingers. Once your shoulders are more or less over your wrists, maybe start to lower your hips a little bit, supporting your lower back by lifting your belly and then opening your collarbones. Right, so feeling the front of your body engage and then smooth transition, hips come back. Take a brief moment there, just like with the down dogs, a brief pause and shift forward. Hips come forward, lift the front of the body, open the collarbones. And again, shifting back, using your breath to shift forward. Using the breath to shift back. Riding on your breath to shift forward. And then maybe stay in your shift forward if your back feels fine. And stay a bit longer, feel the collarbones open even more. Feel your heart shining up and forward. And then again, slowly shifting back. Okay, and then we'll walk the hands in and you'll grab your prop, your ball or your towel, your blanket, whatever you have. And you'll lie on your back with the prop underneath your pelvis. Right, so your hips are being elevated here. And you want to be really comfortable. You don't want to create an arch in the lower back that doesn't feel good. So make sure your pelvis feels comfortable. So generally speaking, in a lot of this work, we want to have our feet aligned with our knees and hips so that the skeleton is relatively balanced. So it might feel like you have to bring your feet a little more narrow to feel that balance. And just sense all 10 toes grounded down, just like we did with the fingers. Relax the arms by your side. And you're just going to make little circles with your pelvis around the ball. So don't get too hung up on how technical this needs to be, but just think about, like, there's a couple ways you can think about it, just like a little hula dance circle around the ball. You can also think of a clock that's on your pelvis so that your belly button is at the top 12 o'clock, your pubic bone is 6 o'clock, and the two hip points are 3 and 9. And you're just circling around all the numbers on the clock, right? And again, this might be a quite big movement for you. You might want it to be more subtle. In either case, I'd like you to keep it slow so that you can sense where you have a little more movement and where your body is a little bit maybe stuck. And if there's a place that's a little more stuck, you might just pause there, take a breath, deepen, and then continue on the rest of the circle. Let's do maybe 2 more rounds in this direction. So if you're on a ball, it's quite nice because it's illuminating, right? It kind of shows us where we have more mobility and where we have maybe some restrictions. And sometimes when we're really mobile on one side, we might want to back off a little bit and create a little more stability. So once you've completed that second round, go ahead and reverse the direction of your circle. And you don't want to be muscling this. This is just really easeful on the joints, sort of feels passive. You're just creating this slow, easy, even circle. Staying present with your breathing and pausing whenever you need to. Letting the shoulders and the neck and the jaw be relaxed and heavy. And we'll do one more round in this direction. And you'll find your center. So finding your center, feeling relatively balanced on either side of the ball. Bring your hands onto your low belly. So the heels of your hands might be on your hip bones and your fingers across your low belly. Inhale and imagine tracing your breath, the breath entering into your nose or mouth and traveling down and inhaling all the way into your belly, letting your belly expand on your inhale. And then exhale from the belly, the breath traces up and exhales out through the top. Inhale from the top. Big Buddha belly, let it expand and exhale, feel it fall. Let the breath travel up and out. Couple more rounds, tracing the breath. Big Buddha belly, exhale, feel it draw in. You want to let the belly move for these. Okay, now on this last exhale, you feel the belly draw in. I want you to keep that feeling of drawing in and bring your right leg to tabletop. Now, if it feels good for you to keep your hands on your belly for feedback, you can do that, or you can just bring your arms back down onto the mat. Lower that right leg, or whatever leg you just did, and then exhale, draw the belly in first, then second leg, tabletop. Right, so you're taking this time to organize the body here. We'll go again, we'll exhale first, draw the belly in, then leg to tabletop. Okay, pause here. We're gonna add the second leg, so you're gonna add a little bit more assertive exhale. So exhale, draw the belly in, and then your second leg meets your other leg. Now check in with your front ribs. You might be wanting, your body might be wanting to kind of pop your ribs up. I want you to just gently press your front ribs into your body just a little bit, just enough to feel the connection deep inside your core. From here, we'll do toe taps. One foot comes down. It doesn't need to come all the way to touch the mat, but it might. And inhale, bring the foot in. Exhale, tap the foot down. Inhale to float in. Continue at your pace. So I'm cueing you to use the exhale as your leg goes away, so that you teach your body to draw the abdominals in towards you, instead of what happens sometimes is we push the muscles out. We want to bring the deepest abdominals in towards the spine on the exhale. And we'll do one more on each side, wherever you're at. If you're on the ball, you'll feel the little wobbles, which is great to get everything organized. Wakes up the nervous system. Okay, then if you're on the ball, this will add more wobbles. So you'll take your arms up to the ceiling, right? And you don't want to be tucking your pelvis to have your knees too close to your chest. So make sure your knees are right over your hips, like a right angle with the knees and the hips. From here, as you exhale, begin to straighten your right leg out about 45 degrees or so. And inhale, draw it in. Exhale, other side. Now, continue this at your pace. Again, using the exhale as you stretch the leg. And notice that if you've got any kind of compression in your back, or your hip is really gripping, or something doesn't feel good, just lower the arms, or even lower one foot and just do one leg at a time, right? You can always take, a limb or two or three out of the picture, right? To make it work for your body today. And we'll do one more until you're even with these extensions. And then bring both hands onto your knees just to kind of touch your knees. And take an inhale here. As you exhale, stretch the legs and maybe the arms behind you if that feels doable. And inhale, bring it all in. All right, listening to your body. Exhale, modify if you need to. Draw the belly in. Inhale, knees and hands touch. Exhale, stretch the legs. Draw the belly into your spine. Inhale, pull it in. The slowness is key, right? The slowness prevents us from skipping steps or cheating or not really getting the full benefit of the movement. If you keep it slow, you're able to really find that support. One more time, stretching out, maybe stay for another round of breath, deep in your exhale. But then draw the knees this time all the way into your chest. You can hug the knees in close and let your spine round. Have a moment there for your lower back. And it might feel nice to just kind of open the knees, bring them back together to give your hips a little bit of hydration there. Take some deep breaths into your back rib cage. Let the body settle and reset here. With your hands on your knees, send your knees away from you so your arms extend, but you're kind of holding onto your knees with your fingertips. Again, the ball will make it a bit wobbly. Let the knees open out, circle the knees towards you, towards each other, and away again, right? Just do a few of these. Try to keep your legs heavy, not muscling anything in your hips, but just letting your arms guide your legs here. Okay, and then bring your legs back into tabletop again. Relax your arms down. Find that stability. Find a pelvis, a neutral pelvis if you can. And then open your knees apart. Flex your feet so your heels touch and toes are apart. Exhale to stretch the legs away. Feel the connection of your inner thighs. And inhale, bend in. You can point the feet when you come in. Exhale, flex the feet, inner thighs. So you're turned out the whole time. Inhale, bend it in. You don't have to flex and point the feet. I just prefer that myself to kind of keep the feet moving. And exhale, lengthen inner thighs connecting. All right, so when you get to that point where your legs are stretching out, the inner thighs connect all the way up into your pelvic floor, into your low abdominals. Inhale, bend in. The lower you go, the more challenging for your low core. We'll do 3 more rounds. Keep moving with your breath. Remember to lead with your breath. Getting so organized, stable, alive in the core of the body. Stay out there if you can. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Point and flex and point, flex, point, flex. Keep breathing. Keep exhaling. 3 and 2 and 1. And bend the knees all the way in towards your chest. Just like earlier, hug the knees in. And you might do a little bit of movement with the knees from side to side or circling. So a great way to enliven the body from the core, create that heat in the body from the center, and also organize and support your lower back. So let's take the ball out, just put it off to the side or the towel, whatever you have there. And line up your feet again, like before I was talking about that parallel kind of narrow stance. So align the feet, knees, and hips and relax the arms. Tuck the tail and roll it through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you get to the top, notice your toes. If they wanted to lift off, ground them down into the floor and maybe tuck your tail under a little bit more. Roll the knees a little bit in towards each other, just so they don't splay out. You want to keep them connected in towards one another. Breathe along the width and length of your body here. On your next exhale, soften through your sternum and roll down through your spine. Keep the tuck of the pelvis for as long as you can as you roll down 1 bone at a time. Releasing the tail completely at the end. Exhale again, curl from your tailbone, ground your feet. Keep grounding the toes to let the hips rise up. We're not trying to push our chest up to the ceiling. We're actually keeping our shoulder blades resting on the mat, but we're tucking the tailbone under. So that's more of about creating length, shooting out through your knees versus trying to come up really high. Breathe in here, exhale, soften through your sternum. Take your time here and see if you can really notice each bone coming down to make contact with the mat. Tucking the tail for as long as you can will give you a little more stretch in your lower back. And then at the very end, completely release the pelvis and widen the sits bones to feel the difference. All right, relax there and walk your feet out about 6 inches or so. Stretch the arms behind you. Take a nice full inhale. Exhale, arms come forward, chin towards your chest, and curl up until your arms are kind of in line with the middle of your thighs. Your chin is lowering towards your throat. You're deepening your abdominals in towards your body. Remember, they might want to pop out, but as you exhale, draw them in and see if you can come up another millimeter off the mat and then release the body back, release the arms all the way back behind you. Do that same thing again. Exhale, curl as high as you can go on the tips of the shoulder blades. Keep the chin lower towards the neck. Exhale, draw the belly muscles in and up. And inhale, release the head and arms back. This time you're gonna roll up and grab on behind your thighs. So try to make it as smooth as you can. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, arms, head, chest, curl up, grab on behind your thighs and roll yourself up to sit as smoothly as possible. And once you get there, just open your knees apart and lean your body forward so you get a little stretch in your hips there. Take a couple of breaths there. And you can keep a flat back, or if you just want to lower down and round your back for a deeper opening in your spine, you can do that as well. You might also just be staying up and moving a little bit from side to side. Wherever you're at, taking about 3 rounds of breath. Okay, and then you'll come up and we'll grab the ball again. So with your ball, we're gonna now move into the upper spine and doing a bit more organization, movement in the upper part of the spine. So you're gonna lie over your ball, so the ball or the towel is underneath your shoulder blades, right? Kind of like a little bit below the shoulder blades, so I would think like bra line as a landmark, okay? But you might be a little bit different just depending on your body and the size of the prop and that kind of thing. So bring your hands behind your head once you feel like you like where the prop is, and then allow your head to fall back into your hands. So this should feel good. If something doesn't feel right or you feel compression in your back, then you might have to move the ball up your spine, a bit higher on your spine. So make sure you feel good here. We'll have a few moments just to rest. This is a really amazing restorative pose for the spine, so important in our modern life with all the things that we do on electronics and with our shoulders and back and sitting. So this reverses the curve of our spine. So as you're breathing, you might feel the connection of your breath into your prop. Tuning in to this part of your body, feeling the head relax into your hands. And just like earlier, your feet are somewhat narrow, lined up with your knees and hips. And keeping the head really heavy in your hands, let your elbows come forward a little bit so you can see them out of the corners of your eyes. Make sure that your head and neck stay relaxed. We don't want to tense the neck to do this. So all you're going to do is drop your chin towards your throat like a ½ inch, right? And then you move your ribs into the ball to curl yourself up, similar to the shape we did earlier, but now you have a little bit of lift with the prop, right? And you want to ensure you're not pulling your neck forward. Your head is resting on top of your spine, heavy in your hands. It's your rib cage and your upper spine that do the movement. Inhale, release the head back. Same thing again. Exhale, chin to the throat, curl from your ribs. Pause here. So feel your belly muscles and your rib cage soften into the back of your body. You might feel your body curved a little bit deeper there. And then keep that curve and feel as though your lower back or your rib cage, some part of the middle low back, is in contact with the mat. And then keep the contact with the mat as your right leg comes to tabletop. Notice if something changed. Exhale to soften your ribs and your belly into the back of your body. Lower the foot. Prepare. Let the body make contact with the mat and then the left leg into tabletop. Notice if one side felt different than the other when you did that. We're going to stay here. Exhale, add your second leg. So strong exhale, deepen the belly into your body. Now bring your arms forward and grab on behind your thighs. So you're in this little ball. As you exhale, extend your arms again. So you stay in the ball without changing anything about your body, just extending the arms. The arms are just going to circle, like medium-sized circles to the side here, breathing, deepening. See if you can still maintain that curve of your lower spine. Now, if your neck is getting tired, by all means, bring your hands behind your head. If you need to lower one foot down, do that as well. All right, and bring the hands behind your head. Rest one foot down, second foot down, and release the head back and stretch and open the front of your spine. Take a couple rounds of breath here to reset. You might trace the breath from the top to the bottom like we did earlier. Feeling the breath move into all the spaces of your body. And feeling the breath leave all the spaces of the body. One more time. Elbows come slightly forward. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl. Left leg into tabletop. Exhale even stronger, right leg into tabletop. Hands extend, arms extend. Now this time, keep the curve of your spine, okay? Try your best to keep your lower or middle back connected to the mat, but extend your left leg away from you. The lower you go, the more challenging. Breathe in to pull it in. Exhale, other leg. Now at any point, you can bring the hands behind the head. Lead with your breath, right? Use the exhale to stretch one leg. Feel energy reaching out through your fingertips. And now try to lift a little bit away from the ball. See what happens there. Feel your front abdominals engage even more as you try to lift your body a little bit off the ball, or just unweighted off the ball. Bring the knees in, hands behind your head. One at a time, the feet set down, rest the head back. Take a moment to relax. Breathe, rest. Tracing the breath, feeling the front of the spine open here. Okay, so with the head resting back into the hands, what we're going to do now is walk your feet out that 6 inches away like we did earlier. So we're repeating that last exercise, but now we've got the ball. So elbows forward, curl up, smooth transition, hold on behind the thighs and curl yourself up to sit. Now you might have to walk your feet out a little further or adjust your legs in some way. In fact, I'd recommend just opening your knees a little bit. It just takes some pressure out of the hips, right? So the knees can kind of fall out to the sides here. And then stretch the arms out in front of you and feel your spine really tall and open and spacious. Keep the chest open and only curl from your tailbone, your lower back. So in other words, I don't want you to curl your upper back like that, right? Keep the collarbones open and then curl your tailbone and continue to curl your tailbone until you feel your body lightly tap the prop, and then smooth transition to curl back up, slow and steady, lifting back up, open your chest and lift your arms. Exhale, lower the arms and curl from the tail to go again. So you're lengthening your spine as you're going down. You're not crunching it. You're lifting your ribs up and away from your pelvis as you roll back up and you reach the arms. Keep going at your own pace. Curl from the tail. Of course, you don't have to go as far as the prop if it's not feeling okay for you, and you can always hold on behind your thighs. You can do that through the whole thing if that helps, that assistance is helpful. So we want to feel that space between the ribs and the pelvis as you're stretching back, and breathe. Curl forward, and we'll do 2 more rounds. Exhale. Draw the belly in and up, light touch on the prop, and smooth transition to curl and reach. One more time, wherever you're at. Continue to connect into your breath. On your last one, lift your arms up, feel your spine lifting and your ribs lifting away from your pelvis. And then turn to your right to twist and lower your arms. You can press against your knee to look over your shoulder. So with the twist, feel free to twist as much as you want. However, I encourage you to really feel your left sits bone, your left pelvis, and get taller rather than needing to twist really far. Breathe into both sides of the rib cage. Feel the spine lengthen when you exhale. One more round of breath. Inhale to lift the arms. Go the other way, twisting over to your left, pressing against your thigh, and feeling the support from the earth. Feel your opposite hip heavy. You don't need to twist far. Really just want to feel that length, that space, that energy through your spine. Letting the breath refresh, revitalize the spine. Make your way back to center. So let your knees come up a bit, but not totally parallel. So let them be turned out, but not falling all the way out, sort of halfway. Bring your arms out in front of you. Now you're only gonna roll back a little bit until you're on your sacrum. We're not gonna go as far back towards the prop as we did earlier. Bring your knees together once you're on your sacrum, and then grab on behind your thighs, one knee into tabletop, second knee into tabletop, right? You're balancing here. This might be familiar in yoga as a boat pose. It's also called teaser in Pilates, same idea. So you're lifting and opening the spine. You can release your hands off of your thighs if you want to add that challenge. You can also turn your knees out if that helps your hips, right? You can continue to hold. Breathe here. Bring the knees back together, hold on behind the thighs, and just sit up again. Lean forward for a moment. We'll do that one more time. Curl from just the tail. One leg at a time. Finds you in your balance, right? If you want to add stretching the legs, you can add that as well. You can always hold on to your legs and practice that way. You can reach the arms towards your toes. Deepen your breath as your body balances here. Exhale. We'll do 2 more exhales. You can point or flex the feet. One more exhale. Draw the hands underneath the knees and roll up nice and smooth, leaning forward one more time. Energizes the whole body, those teasers, really great. Okay, so we're gonna turn around and we're gonna still use our prop. We're gonna put the prop right at the sternum, right at the breastbone, okay? So you're gonna lie directly over it with your palms down and your head's just looking down. You can let your head rest down to the mat for a moment if that feels good. It does kind of push into your chest a little bit. We won't be in that position for too long. But do tune into your breathing here now with a different sort of feedback into the front of the body, letting the breath expand into the prop. And then when you exhale, draw your tummy muscles up and shine your heart forward. If you got the ball, you're kind of rolling along the ball to lift your chest. Now, once you're here, you want to check in that you're not lifting your chin too high. So keep the chin low and the gaze low. And then you can use your arms, press down into the mat to start to take some weight off of the prop. You might still be touching it, but you're not as weighted. Keep lifting your low belly to keep your low back happy, and open your collarbones, shine your heart forward, and gather your shoulder blades together on your back. So you also feel your upper back muscles supporting you. Use the arms, push down into the mat, and then release back down. Release, 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 let the head fall. So everyone's gonna look different on this, and you might be coming up really high or not. It doesn't matter, right? Just really tuning into what's suiting your body. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, tuck the tail under. Use the energy of the arms, pushing into the mat and shining the heart forward. Right, and then if you wanna come up higher, you could press into the mat and unweight your body and start to organize the tiny muscles between your shoulder blades. Feel your shoulder blades gather together. Feel those muscles enliven and turn on, and open the collarbones there. And release back down. Nice. One more time, just like that. Breathe in at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the tail, press down, open the chest space. Use the front body and the back body together. Right? Lifting the low tummy, you might tuck the tail a little bit and then gather the shoulder blades towards each other to feel the back of your body energize and release back down. Take a moment at the bottom here. This one we're going to change a little bit. So tuck the pelvis under to feel the low belly engage, And just lift your head and chest up a few inches, just so you're slightly lifted. Now, I just want you to lift your arms, your hands off the mat. And you can lift them so that your shoulder blades, again, gather together. I don't want you to squeeze them, but feel them slide towards each other. And then you might extend your heart a little more forward, as long as you're continuing to support your low back. And then from this place, you might lower your chest just an inch and then extend the arms behind you. Feel the pinky finger lifting towards the ceiling and feel the energy of the back body. Now you might naturally or you might consciously lift your legs. And then release the arms. You can bring the arms in front of you this time and maybe create a little support for your head to rest onto. Let the body release into the floor. You might shake the hips a little bit from side to side or move the head from side to side. And taking a few moments to reset, integrate here. After your last round of breath there, gently pushing yourself back and bringing yourself into a child's pose for a couple of moments. You can have your arms wherever they're comfortable, in front of you, beside you, whatever you would like. Allowing the back body to fill with the breath. Feeling the release of the breath as much as the inhale. And then gently press yourself up again. And we'll shift forward. You can bring your prop out of the way. Don't need it now. Come on to your elbows and your knees, right? So all the way down onto your forearms. And knees are fairly close together. And you want to create this frame where your arms are grounded into the mat, creating this kind of frame for your chest to fit into. As you exhale, feel the drawing in of the low belly as your right leg extends behind you. You can flex the foot. I like to flex the foot here just to feel the length through the back of my leg. And then I'd like you to shift a little bit more into your right arm, having more weight on the right arm so that your body isn't just sitting in your left hip, right? Because you've got the right leg out there. So trying to use the right side of the body here. Extend the leg. It might come up a little bit higher. And then point your foot and bend your knee and draw your knee into your chest as you drop your head. So you're curling in. And then stretch the leg back out again. Just do a couple of these. Keep your weight in your right arm and exhale, curl into that right side. And inhale, stretch it out, stay on that right side. Exhale, curl. And inhale, reach. And then you'll stay here. Continue to ground through that right side and bend your right knee. The sole of your foot's facing the ceiling. You'll do little lifts here. So we're finding that extension and that support through the hamstring and the glute. Meanwhile, connecting to our breath, feeling that right arm support us, belly drawing in, steady long exhale. Stretch the leg out one more time and draw it all the way back in. And take a little moment to move. Maybe shake through your hips or move your head around. Reset. Take a breath in. Exhale, left side. Reach the left leg straight back. And notice this might feel different on this other side. Shift your weight into your left arm, right? Use the left side of your body. See if you can stretch your left leg even more, as if someone's pulling it out of your body. And then point your foot and curl the spine. Stay on that left arm. And stretch it back out. Lengthen, stay on the left arm. Exhale, curl. And reach it out. And curl it in, dropping the head if you can. And reach it out and stay out. Check back in with your alignment. Are you using that left side of the body? And then bend at the knee. Sole of the foot facing the ceiling. Little lifts from the foot, from the back of the leg. Low belly, drawing in. Exhale, steady. Long, steady exhale. Using that left arm, pressing away from the mat, feeling the spine lighting up towards the ceiling. Stretch the leg out and draw it all the way back in. Go ahead and take your knees nice and wide and stretch your arms down in front of you, similar to the puppy pose we did at the beginning of class, and let your head just rest. Take a few moments to breathe and open into your lats. And making your way back up again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and turn onto your side. So you'll sit on your right hip, right? And you'll have your right arm down for you there. So sitting on your hip, your legs are just stacked on top of each other, and you might find you need to kind of, decide how much you want to bend your knees, up to you. And you're gonna lift your hips and your arm up, right? So you're pressing away from the floor, lifting the hips, and feel this bottom shoulder stay really open as you lift. Extend the top arm, and then extend your top leg. And see if it feels okay to take it off the mat. You can keep the foot on the mat if you want, or try taking it off. If you're taking it off, check back in with your right shoulder, press away from the mat, and then do little circles with your leg. Little, right? Small and slow. Feel that power center that we've organized. Really stay connected here in your low core as your leg makes these little circles slightly behind your body. Reverse the circle. Keep breathing. Feel like all the limbs are reaching away and also reaching into your core. And then lower the foot to the mat. Open the arm overhead. Take a nice big stretch for the whole side of your body, breathing into those top ribs. And then gently bend your top knee, lower the hips down, and you're back to where you began. Okay, we'll just switch over to the other side. So on your left hip. Right, and again, adjusting however much you want to bend your knees is fine. And we really want to be conscious of this left shoulder. We don't want to collapse in that shoulder joint. We really want to be pressing away. So you might have to kind of change where you place your hand to feel supported there. All right, so we stretch up, pressing away, feeling the length of the body as we push off. Breathing here. If that feels okay, maybe extending the leg. Keeping it on the mat the whole time is totally great too. If you want to take it off to challenge your balance, you can do that, pressing away from the floor, and then maybe adding these little circles while the low belly stays still to support you. Continue to come back to the breath, right? We're always coming back to how our breath is supporting us. It's our foundation. Reverse the circle. Use the exhale. Keep stretching the leg. And this side might feel a lot different than the other side. Keep breathing, reaching. Lower the foot to the mat. Bring the arm overhead and lift your ribs up to the sky to really open the side body. Breathe there. And then gently bend that top knee and you're back to where you began. Okay, and now you're gonna sit on your bum with your legs in front of you. And we're gonna do what's called rolling like a ball, and you just kind of have fun with it. So basically, your hands, well, I would actually say start with them over the top of your knees, right? You're in a little ball. Now the key here is to keep the curve. I'll just show it to you first. So I'm gonna roll back, right? And I'm gonna come back up and try not to let my feet touch the bottom. So I try to stay up here. If I don't curve, if I kind of flatten out, then it's like I plop, right? So you wanna keep the curve to roll onto your whole spine. So just go ahead and give it a go. Just curl back, use some momentum, and come back up and try to balance on your sacrum. All right, we're returning back to that theme with the teaser or the boat pose. It becomes more challenging if you keep your shins attached to your thighs. It's harder. And draw your tummy into your body and just be playful about it. And then next time you're up, pause, and then find your teaser. So you can be with bent knees, you can be with straight legs, and we'll stay here for 3 breaths, wherever you decide to be. Lift your spine, exhale deeply, move the neck if the neck gets tense. And then draw the knees into your chest, stay up in your balance here. You're gonna slowly extend your legs and lower your body as far as your body allows you to go, drawing your tummy muscles in. Legs as low as you can do without compression in your back, and then curling back in. We're gonna do this 3 more times. Exhale, lower. You don't have to go super low. You can stay up here and keep the knees bent. And breathe in to draw it in. Exhale to lower. And draw it back in. One more time, keep it slow and smooth as you can. And draw it back in. And set your feet down, open your knees like we've done. Lean your body forward a bit. If it feels good to lower your arms to the floor and drop your head to curl your spine, feel welcome to do that. Take a few moments to rest. Let your body process. Continue to connect into that deep, slow breath. Bring yourself back up and find yourself a comfortable seat to close. And we'll circle back to the breath practice we did at the beginning, but we won't do it the same way. All we'll do is take a nice deep inhale in together. Inhale. And we'll hold up here at the top for as long as we want to. And when it feels right to you, let the exhale happen. And hold the breath out for just a bit longer. Take your inhale when you'd like. Hold at the top and just notice your energy, notice your body, notice your mind. Exhale when you need to. Hold the breath out, letting yourself have some space between the exhale and your next breath in. And then breathe normally for 3 rounds of breath. Noticing the capacity of your lung space as you breathe. Let's bring our palms together in front of our heart. For gratitude for this time to move and breathe and challenge ourselves and just be present with our body and our mind. Namaste. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely
Thank
evening.
You're welcome.